Check, check, levels 1, 2, 2, 2. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned into Shoutcraft. It has been a while, hasn't it? Yes, it has. Looking forward to doing some hopefully entertaining broadcasting this evening. I've got a lot of stuff coming up for you. I'm going to be casting the UK Diamond Cup, which is going to be coming up later in the evening. That's going to be going on for quite some time. They're looking for a 64-player cup going through to midnight, so I might be here a while. Before that, I'm going to be casting some of the replays from the EU versus US Steel Series and StarCraft Source Tournament. Been requested to cast the QXC versus Mana game. And I'm going to also, if I have the time, be casting the Week 1 games for those of you who haven't seen them, which, by the looks of it, is an awful lot of you. Indeed. So, it could take a while. We'll see how it goes, but thank you for tuning in today. All of these VODs will hopefully be available after the fact, and that's going to be happening in probably a couple of days. Over the course of the next few days, I'll be getting those available for you, and we're looking to try and get them all on YouTube in 720p, which, by the looks of it, should be more than attainable. Hoping that is the case. Right, folks. Okay. I think everything is working fine, as far as I'm aware. I do have a new account set up for casting, as you can see. I'm not using my old one. There are many reasons for this, mainly because the friends list is too spammed, so I'm going to be using this one instead. In future shows, we're looking for quite a lot of live matches from people who are going to be applying for the show. I've already had some people do that already. This show is going to be going on every week, looking to get it on a, on a Wednesday, yes, at 7 p.m. GMT. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 in the evening Central European. I'm just going to check that everything is okay on this end, which it looks to be. I'll put on my little loopy thing while I do that. I don't need to create a loop of that. I will get around to it eventually, trust me. Yes, since it's the first real broadcast back, I'm just making sure that everything is working perfectly before we get started with some StarCraft action. Yes, since it's the first real broadcast. Now you'll be hearing an echo of me. We don't want that. There we go. Yes, we're getting a loop there. That's good. Broadcasting in 480p today. That should be fairly reasonable, and everything else will be done in 720p on the YouTube channel. It's all getting frapsed, so don't worry. It will be snazzy. Right, well, I think we are about sorted and ready to go. I'm hoping this is the case. Popping up a quick message on Facebook just to let people know that I am, in fact, on the air. I've forgotten how to watch. You click the link. Bloody hell. I'll tell you, since I used to cast in the beta, I've got a lot of fans who are an awful lot thicker than I'm used to. And that is problematic. Honestly, it really is. It causes a bunch of different issues, including having to explain very simple things to people, including the idea of press button. Press button is hard, more at 11. Oh, man. Oh, man. Right, okay, that's out there, that's good, right, we're good, we're sorted, we don't need the browser open. Right, you did not come here to listen to me ramble. You came here to watch some StarCraft, which is exactly what you are going to get. We're going to kick it off right here. This right here is a set of replays from the EU versus US tournaments, brought to you by Steel Series and StarCraft-Source.com. This is between QXC, the Purple Terran, and Mana, who was the second placed in the DreamHack tournament. His teammate Nama actually walked away with the grand prize right there. Yes, and I'm not... Well, I don't really care if people are complaining about mods right now. It's on slow mode. That's what a lot of channels have to be, otherwise you just keep spamming. We do have an IRC channel that is properly moderated. I would recommend that you head there instead of using Justin TV chat, which, let's be honest, is complete ass. Head on over to irc.quakenet.org, hash or pound Cynical Brit, or click on the Team Liquid link on the front page. Go to Team Liquid, click on Shoutcraft, you'll see an embed right there for QuakeNet. It'll take you directly to my IRC channel. I'll be leaving it on slow mode for the time being, simply because I do not have time to work out moderators for the Justin TV channel at present, and by the looks of it, it's going to be a temporary thing. I was looking to set up an owned TV, which, as you're might be aware, you might not be, is very, very good. The problem is that it's having issues at the moment a lot of people are just seeing a blank screen. Justin TV is not ideal either, because it restricts the number of people that can tune in from specific countries if they don't have a pro account. I don't like that one little bit. But again, I'm using what works. Ustream doesn't work with the new program I'm using called XSplit, which I'm using because my old program now will not even load. So, streaming's awesome, isn't it? Freaking love streaming. Causes me so much bloody stress, I tell you that. Right, okay. Just want to check and make sure that my Fraps is ready. It was before, and now it seems to have hidden the overlay. Why would it do that? Oh, God, please tell me you're actually working. Just double-checking that everything is okay with that. Oh, God, it's not even Frapsing, is it? I had this set up and working, and now it's not. So much rage. Let's try it again, shall we? Where is my Fraps, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go and have a look through my computer, see what I have. Here's a Fraps. Will it work? Yes! Thank you, Fraps. How very kind of you to join us. Right. Okay, folks. We are about ready to go. Need me a little overlay. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? There you go. Ha! Genius. Let's kick it off! Match 1 of this Europe versus America series right here. It's going to be QXC versus Mana. And let's kick it off. QXC in the purple trunks to the west of this map being the Metalopolis, which is the map these guys always start on, by the way. Don't really know why, but hey, Metalopolis is a nice map to go with. And we got Mana spawning in the north of the map as the red Protoss. Now, I'm making an active effort today to purge some of the horrendous, and I do mean absolutely horrendous jargon that I've been picking up over the past few weeks. It's bad. Shoutcraft's supposed to be no jargon. That's the point. It's supposed to be no jargon. And if there is jargon, then it defeats the entire point of Shoutcraft. So I'm not going to be saying so, oh, it's a 1-1-1 build, oh, it's a 4-gate, blah-de-blah, because if you've never seen this before, you have no idea what those things are. So it's like, oh, he's building 4 gateways. That makes sense, because there are gateways. There are 4 of them, and he is building them. He is building a barracks, he is building a factory, and he is building a starport. So there you go. 1-1-1 might be shorter, but I speak faster than most casters, so I think I can get away with it. Right, let's have a look and see what's going on right here. Mana with his first pylon. It's a very exciting moment for any Protoss, I tend to find, and going straight in with the gateway on 12 supply. A little bit early, you can go in on 12 supply and go in on 13 supply. Lets you push a little bit quicker if you happen to put it up on 12. So it's good either way, let's be honest. 13 is slightly, very, very slightly better for the economy, but not a big deal. Barracks coming up right here for QXC. Not that the Terran really have many openers anymore, unfortunately. You might remember back in the beta, they were able to open with a barracks straight away instead of a supply depot and build Reapers for rushing purposes, or indeed Marines for rushing purposes, and bunkers for rushing purposes. Whatever your heart desires. You can't do that anymore. You've got to build a supply depot first and then a barracks. So that kind of limits the openers that you can put into play if you happen to be a Terran. QXC scouts his opponent, and Mana also scouts his opponent. He's going to do a little bit of a dance right here and see what he can pull off. Well, he's lost his shields already, which is a bad situation for any Protoss, but he will soon rebuild that. And look at this. QXC building a barracks right down at the bottom, and that has not been scouted. That is a sneaky maneuver there by QXC. So his opponent, as far as he is aware, has scouted that there is... Oh, but is he going to see that? That is a good question. Now, there's a couple of reasons why you might do this. The first is to hide your extra production facilities from your opponent. The second is to prevent a proxy pylon being built there. Admittedly, that's not necessarily an ideal position for a proxy pylon. I can think of a few others, but hey, there you go. 7X core coming up for Mana. It's a pretty standard opening. He's going to build the warp gate technology after this, and once he's done that, he can go out to maybe 3 gateways and go into Colossi, or he can go for 4 gateways and go for a gateway heavy setup, which involves usually a mix of zealots, stalkers, and sentries. Totally fine. Reaper coming out, and they see he's building this proxy barracks out here. And then he's building this one right here. He's going to open with a Reaper. He's going into a Marauder as well, so he's got a little bit of flexibility. I have to wonder if he's going to keep pushing that out, or if he's simply building this other tech lab for the sole purpose of more research. Looks like he's going for a Marauder-heavy build early on, which is good against the Protoss. In the meantime, his opponent Mana is going straight into a robotics facility on a single gateway. That's going to serve him well if his opponent is going with this Marauder push strategy, because of course the Immortals will tear Marauders apart. It is a messy, messy thing to watch, folks. Mana still hasn't scouted that, but he did see that Marauder moving in a very unusual manner. There you go. See you want to get there? Very unusual manner? No, it's terrible, I know. There you go, and Mana scouted that one, so no big surprises coming out there for him, but it's a loss, unfortunately. And he loses that, but there's a loss as well. That Reaper has been torn apart, but it did take a sentry with it, so it was pretty good for him. Mana having lost now 3 units, slightly behind in terms of that. The loss of the sentry early was a little bit unpleasant. Bear in mind that the sentry does cost quite a lot of gas, so losing that amount of gas so early in the game, not such a great thing. A small push of Marauders and a single Marine moving out right here. QXC hanging around with his SCV that's going to get turned into fine paste if he's not careful. Little push up the ramp here for some early damage. It's going to be blocked up by Mana, looking for the center. There you go. And there's the force field. So 4 Marauders and a single Marine camping out, making a little fire outside of Mana's base at this point in time, and looking to make their way in when they get the opportunity, which is going to be as soon as that shield goes down. However, Mana is able out an Immortal. It's Immortal coming straight out. That'll be a nice counter to those Marauders. Will 1 be enough? Probably. Absolutely, I would say. Especially with the backup of 2 Stalkers right there. QXC pushing in once again. Doesn't have Stimpack right now, but he does have Concussive Missile. Using those concussive shells to take that one down. He's going to grab that Marauder right there. Go on. There you go. Takes the Marauder. 5 Marauders now retreating very rapidly and being pushed back. Staring at that nasty, unpleasant Immortal. Takes an SCV with him for good measure, simply out of spite. And Mana looking in a good position against this particular strategy. The question is, ladies and gentlemen, what is he going to do to counter that? QXE looking for an expansion right here. He's going to expand with this command center, probably into this area right here, I would imagine. Bunkers coming up for very rapid defense, looking to do something against a possible counter-attack, and more barracks coming up for QXC. QXC looking for, I would imagine, more Marines now. Marines and Marauders are still going to work pretty well against this build. Only a single Immortal out right now. 2 Gateway right here. And are we looking for, yes we are, we're looking for a Colossus coming out pretty soon. Colossi will be a solid counter to the Marines Marauders strategy, and he's going to have to vary things up just a little bit if he wants to deal with that. Marine Shield, Stimpack coming up as well, investing heavily into these early barracks units. That's all he's doing right now. Look at how many barracks he's building. He's got 3 on the way as well. He's already got 2, so that's going to be great for him. Put me out an awful lot of units looking to overwhelm his opponent with sheer weight of numbers. The question is, can he defend against this? Because look what he has. He's got 4 Zealots. He's got 1 Immortal. He's got 2 Stalkers. He's got... Actually, no, he hasn't. He's got 2 Sentries. He's got 3 Stalkers. Yes. He was tricking me with an illusion. Yes. Known for tricking people. He's a loads of Protoss, a mind tricker. You don't want to sell me death sticks. I don't want to sell you death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your faction. I want to go home and kill the bunker. There you go. We can do that as well. That shield's not going to do too much against the fire from the Marauders, unfortunately for him. That could be problematic. There we go. Smashing that bunker to pieces is not enough, though. Not enough at all. And he is inflicting some losses there. Going to lose the Zealot at the rear. He's not happy about that at all. Mausman sent home with his tail between his legs and looking a little bit silly for it. It was very solid defense there by QXE, pulling his SCVs quickly off the mineral line to fix up that bunker. That's a lot of firepower he's able to bring to bear. The Sentry Shield does reduce damage a little bit. You see, it reduces the damage down by 2. But bear in mind just how much damage these things do. They can inflict a huge amount of damage. 10 and 20 versus armored. So it's not great, honestly, especially when defending against Stalkers. But it does help. There's no doubt about that. If you're going to use your Sentries in a mix like that, then absolutely put your shield up. Just don't expect it to be the miracle that you need. There's the extended thermal lance upgrade coming up right here, and the first Colossi is on the field. The question is, will it be enough? Right now, I'm not entirely convinced by that, honestly. If we have a look at it, we're looking at the forces he's up against. 11 Marauders, 10 Marines, more being pumped out. Is he going into any other tech whatsoever? No, yeah, he's got an engineering bay, but he hasn't even grabbed +1 or +1 in either armor or weapons upgrades right now. Looking simply to overwhelm his opponent. Big force rolling out right there, and Mana pulling his forces back to defend his expansion. Will it work? Most likely, yes it will. Slices up an SCV Scout right there, sacrifice to give a little bit of vision. And in we go! Will that single Colossi make the difference? It certainly will. You see it's carving through it right there, but look at that amount of firepower brought to bear on Mana's forces. Now rushing straight past there, outrunning the Colossi. Takes a few stragglers with it, but it's not good enough. Stimmed straight into the mineral line. Huge economic damage coming in right here. 1 probe, 2 probe, 3 probe, 4, 5 probe, 6 probe, 7 probe more. But there goes all of the Terran forces, sliced apart by the Colossi and the side blades of the Zealots. How much economic damage was done there? That's the question. Mana is lagging behind quite a bit, and a second wave moving in, but it's not particularly large, and that's going to be annihilated by Mana's forces if he's going to stick around for it. I don't think he's going to do that. He's going to hide behind that statue with the nice dog. Is that a dog? Yes, it looks like a very nice dog there. Could be a husky, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows? Who knows? Looks a little bit aggressive for a husky, honestly. Yeah, husky's not all that aggressive, really. 2 Colossi now. Moving out with an escort of Zealots. We've got, quite a few, actually. 8 Zealots. Oh, that Marine is regretting even going to work today. And pushing his way forward once again, looking to do a lot of damage there. And that missile turret built to counter the Colossi is not going to do too much. Look at that. Nice sentry block right there. And he's able to neutralize a lot of the firepower. Wants to bring that bunker down. Needs to bring that bunker down. Losing so many Zealots in the process. It finally, come on, bring the bunker down. There it goes. Bunker is down, and he's now cutting a bloody swathe through the Terran forces. Oh yes, they're not going to be able to counter this. Honestly, he's going to have to pump out an awful lot more to deal with 2 Colossi. He's looking for lots of firepower from the bunker, but extended thermal lance upgrade means it's not going to happen. But it is staying up. Just look at how many SCVs he's got. There we go. Stimmed. Marauders in from the side, and a nice split once again with the Sentry. Mana's Sentry is going to get the Player of the Week award, no doubt about that one. And he's able to slice them up with the powerful laser beams there from the Colossi. Looking down, 50%, 40%, 30, 20, 10, and it's gone, ladies and gentlemen. A third Colossi moving in to reinforce. Down goes 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those Marauders. And that expansion is ripe for the picking. QXC GG's. Yes, indeed, good game. And the first game goes to Mana. Nicely played there by both of our contestants. But yes, that aggression going into that 2-gateway into the Colossus build did a very, very good job indeed. It was a stalwart defense, even with the aggression of QXC managing to slip past the initial forces right here at the expansion and doing significant economic damage. The counterattack came in and it was extremely effective. Extended thermal lance upgrade once again, proving itself to be absolutely invaluable. Okay, folks, are you ready for game number 2? I certainly am. Okay, let's get it all sorted out and loaded up. If you just tuned in, welcome to Shoutcraft, casting some replays right here. These come from the EU versus US tournament, sponsored by SteelSeries and StarCraft-Source.com. Delicious. And my casting water today. This water is called So Clear, and it is quite clear, actually. If I wanted to cast through this water, I would be able to do so, although it might be a little bit blurry. So Clear, still lemon and lime-flavoured spring water drink. Quite cheap and fairly delicious. I can deal with this one. No, you do not want to see some Battlecraft. I might do that later. Oh, no. Right, folks. Yes. Game number 2 here on the Shakuras Plateau. Are you ready? I'm certainly ready. Let's get it on. Now, the question is, can QXC get that early aggression going? Because last time, he didn't really have it. He went for it, certainly, and that was a very sneaky barracks he built there. It did a good job, no doubt about that. It did a good job, at least until Mana discovered it and then appropriately countered. Once he saw the Marauders coming in and the Marine-heavy strategy, it was like, hey, look, Colossi! Suddenly, I'm countering everything you're throwing at me. That initial Immortal, you can't discount how valuable that initial Immortal is as well. It was a great, great idea to go into that build early on because it allowed him access to a unit that absolutely destroys Marauders. It absolutely annihilates them, especially when you don't have the stim pack. Yeah? People think, oh, you know, an Immortal can take down 30 Marauders. Not true. It is a very, very good counter. Great counter. But bear in mind that its Hardened Shield upgrade, the thing that it starts with, reduces the damage down to 10. If it's taking any damage that is higher than 10 in a single shot. That's great and all, but against stimmed Marauders, not so great, because they're firing much faster, so they'll be able to chew through the shields much, much quicker. Against non-stimmed Marauders, yeah, that really, really helps indeed. He did get the stim pack upgrade, eventually, and it did help him a lot, but he saved his stim, if you notice. He saved his stim so that he could stim all the way past and run it into the mineral line to do big damage, as opposed to focusing on that Immortal. So the Immortal was able to reap a terrible, terrible toll. Okay, Shakuras Plateau is a neat, nifty map. You've got these 2 Zelnaga towers in the middle right here. Your expansion is quite distant, you see right there. You've got to drop down there for it. There is a back door to the base, blocked off by these destructible rocks, and a additional expansion opportunity available there. There's a nice corridor here between these two bases that you can exploit if you so desire. Interesting. Mana going for a very quick expansion right here. That is not something I've really seen all that much of. Bear in mind, I'm not really up to date on the current strategy, so I don't really want to comment on them. But what will this allow him to do? Well, it'll allow him access to 4 gas very, very fast. You see 1 gas, 2 gas, and he's already got 1 gas coming up. At least he will soon enough once he's got the cash for it. There you go, in his base. So, what could he be doing with 4 gas? There are a variety of things he could be doing with 4 gas. He could be looking for a very heavy immortal strategy, where he's building an awful lot of them. Multiple robotics facilities. Alternatively, he could be building heavy air units. He could be building a lot of void rays. He could even be building carriers. We don't see that all that often. QXC going for a more traditional build right here, and a nice neutralization of the scout right there. That's going to be handy for him. That's going to prevent mana from scouting directly. So he's going to be happy about that. He doesn't know quite what his opponent is doing right now. He's also dumped a supply depot at the back of his base. That's very handy to see if someone is trying to get into your back door. Always what I'd recommend, folks, if someone is trying to get into your back door, place a supply depot there and you will be safe. I can't guarantee that this will work IRL. Factory coming up for QXC. Again, it's called the 111 build. It's just a barracks into a factory, and he'll probably follow this up with a starport. No way to really predict it, but it's looking very likely. You see he's got 2 refineries going up right there. There's the factory, and if we see the starport, we might see the starport momentarily. We will keep an eye on it. In the meantime, what we've got is a lot of SCVs plus a number of that, because we're looking for a bunker rush. He's rushing a bunker into the base. Is he going to be able to fix it up, though? Because if he is, that's going to cause a whole number of problems. This is a really good counter strategy to the fast expansion here from the Protoss. Unfortunately, there isn't really a particularly good counter strategy to being sliced into tiny kibbles by the Zealots. However, mana doesn't quite have enough. He's able to use the probes to deal significant damage, but the problem is that bunker is on its way up. He needs to neutralize the attempts to build that bunker very quickly. Bunker's up, there you go. Okay, this is going to be problematic for Mana right here. He's going to be able to deal a lot of damage, QXC, to this. And they're even fixing up the SCVs as well. He's got a lot of SCVs backing that up. Only a single Marine in there, though. He's going to need a lot more firepower than that in order to do it. And there's that starport I said was coming. So he's going to be able to follow this up. He's going to put a lot of pressure on Mana, and Mana's going to have to do something about it. Stalkers are a good counter to this. Like I say, they don't take too much damage, but he's going to have to go in force in order to deal with the SCVs. A sustained barrage coming in right here from the Stalkers. He's micromanaging them in and out. He's going to lose that pylon if he's not careful. A fourth Stalker coming in to reinforce the line. And a Hellion just for a little bit of harassment right there. Hellion won't do too much against the Stalkers, though, but it is an additional target that he has to concern himself with. Once again, fixes it up and loses the pylon. So no buildings are going to be happening here. This expansion is looking to be under a very significant threat right now. 2 gateways currently pumping out. Ooh, where did these Cybernetics go? There's the Cybernetics go. Never mind. 2 gateways pushing out those Zealots as well as the Stalkers. Now putting under big damage. Big damage coming in right here. Might be able to take it down. He doesn't get it, though. Looks to try and get the Hellion because QXC with a bait and switch tries to sneak past in order to wreak havoc in the mineral line. Doesn't allow it to happen. In the meantime, QXC is applying pressure and he's building Banshees and a cloaking field. This could be potentially lethal for his opponent, Mana, right here. Lots of damage being inflicted on the shields right there. But there, look at that. He's managed to snipe off most of the repairs available for that bunker. He can just push himself right in now if he so desires. He's not wasting it, though. Not going to bother with it because he knows those shields will hold up against a single Marine, so why even waste any potential Stalkers? He's keeping all of his Stalkers around right now, and he does have this robotics facility coming up. Thing is, what counter has he got? What counter does he have to that Banshee? It's a good question. Where is the Banshee? Finally pushes the bunker down. 7 Stalkers look for a counter-attack. As far as I'm aware, yes indeed, 1 Banshee is up, and the cloaking field is going to be up in approximately 20 seconds' time. Once that cloaking field goes up, that's going to be a huge threat for him. There's no anti-air defense at the base anyway right now, and no warp-in facility right now. He's only just started the warp-in. He's had to pull all of his resources off that line, and his resources are under incredible attack here by a single Banshee. Doesn't matter because there's another one coming to reinforce it. That's going to be up in about 10 seconds' time. It's going to be a problem for Mana. Mana is on the ropes at this point in time. There's the cloak. Nicely done. Okay, that mineral line is under heavy attack. Now, how long will the cloak actually stay up? Well, we've got an observer coming out right now, which is going to be out in a couple of seconds' time. Once that's up, well, QXC spots it, of course, and moves away from that. He doesn't want that to get shot out. Now, observers do move slowly, but there's the scout. See, you can see it. He's going to have to micromanage that away. He wants that Stalker. He needs it. He desires the Stalker, but he can't have it. He just cannot. Now the question is he going to try and pull a 1-2 punch here with the Banshees, or is he going to try and move in force? Where is that second Banshee? Is he going? Yes, he is. He's going for the other expansion. He's going to do more economic harassment over here. It's a sensible idea. That Observer can only be in one place at any given time. He's forcing his opponent to pump out a second Observer. Very heavy on the gas, that one. And there you go. In comes the defense once again. Lots more economic damage done to Mana. Let's see the effect of that. It is significant, no doubt about that. His opponent is being pretty slow in his expansion. He's feeling pretty confident about it. QXC not even bothering with it at the moment. He's sorting something out, but he doesn't have any other resources coming in. But look at that. Look at the difference between harvesters right there. It's significant. Almost double the resources coming in for QXC right now with only a single mule on the field. That cannot be understated. That's going to allow him to put a lot of pressure on his opponent. Yet more harassment there with the cloaked Banshees. Another Banshee on the way. And we're looking also for the stim pack there. And some big Marine Marauder forces. Once again, more probes annihilated right there. Did he sneak around? No, he didn't. He's still within range of that, looking for big firepower on the Banshee. Can he take it out? Can he take it out? No, he cannot. Nicely done there by QXC, staying in till the last possible moment. A gutsy play with the Banshee. One Banshee coming around the side right here. Is he going to get away? No, he's going to get shot to pieces, let's be honest. Oh, yeah, there you go. Mana takes him. Now, Mana is looking stronger right now. He is recovering from this, but the harassment is very, very good. And in the meantime, his opponent is building what I like to call the build everything strategy, which is let's build some siege tanks, we'll build some Marines, some Marauders, some Banshees, we'll build some upgrades. Hey, because it's fun, why not? Miles Mana is sticking with gateway units because not like he really has a choice right now, pumping out as many of them as humanly possible, or indeed protossibly. So yes, more gateway units to counteract this. Yeah, it can do it, but I'm not convinced he's going to be able to pump out enough in order to counteract the sheer amount of damage that's going to be inflicted by QXC's hammer blow when it finally arrives. And it will. Delicious chemicals. One might say that this is flavored with some kind of Vespine citrus gas. It could be. You never know. Don't deny it. You never know what goes into American food these days. A lot of preservatives. I'm fairly sure they don't use Vespine gas for that, but that's only because of price. If they could, they would. Mining operations looking a little bit better now for Mana, but he's still dragging behind in terms of resources thanks to those mules. And look at that force rolling out right here. What's the composition? It's a nice mixed force. And annihilating that little probe that was sitting down there guarding that Xel'Naga Watchtower is going to meet in the middle. Yes, indeed, it's going to be a battle on the field right here. And here we go. Where's that Observer? Yes, indeed, he's got it. One Banshee already annihilated. Second one going down. That's significant right there. A lot of firepower coming in from QXC, but it isn't enough. There's no way. Or maybe it is. You just never know because, hey, he does have a stim pack. He was looking not so strong, but Mana counteracts, warping in several additional units, and QXC suddenly on the back foot right here, taking a lot of firepower from the Banshees, though. And this is going to be mutually assured destruction. Huge damage inflicted on both sides. Can he catch the Banshee? No, he can't. The Banshee's going to get away. Takes another Stalker with him. It's good stuff. Can he take another Stalker? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Can he? Yes, there you go. And off he goes. It's a successful Banshee attack right there. What's the damage? Oh, look, there's a single siege tank hanging around. Probably not the best place to stand without any defenses. You might want to back off just a little bit right there. Yes, he can take the Stalker, but I'm not convinced about his abilities against the Zealots right there. Zealots trying to catch up, and Stalker's on their way. They're very angry. Here come the reinforcements from the rear. And there's the stim. Marauder already annihilating the Zealot. 2 Zealot down and chasing down that Stalker. And there you go. It's a nice counter-attack. This is a good back and forth right here. Good amount of aggression. QXC pursues his opponent all the way back to his base. What does his opponent have to counteract that particular strategy? Well, he could warp in some additional units, but he's looking very, very short on gas. It's going to be dependent mostly on Zealots with a couple of Stalkers for good measure. Unit count is looking strong in favour of QXC. He's got 6 Marauders, 2 Banshees, 3 Siege Tanks, and 7 Marines rolling out once again. Observers are keeping an eye on it. There's the siege deployment outside of the base. So that pretty much prevents any direct attack from Mana right now. He's going to be boxed in, and his opponent is going to have nice free map control for the time being. More reinforcements rolling across the map as the Terran war machine continues to grind against the Protoss defenses. Is it going to be enough? Well, with 4 siege tanks, that is going to make a huge difference. Is he going to charge into the more of those siege tanks? He is. There we go. Initial firepower coming in. Siege tanks at the rear. Doesn't have a huge amount of infantry units, but he does have reinforcements around the side. There we go. And there's the stim. Picked at a good time. He lost the initial wave, but he inflicted a lot of damage with those siege tanks. And the main thing is the siege tanks stayed alive. So good damage inflicted there by QXC. If you have a look at it right here, Mana is way behind. He's lost an awful lot of units, right? And this is going to be a war of attrition that can be only won by the Terran player if this continues to stay the way that it is. More Banshees coming in as well. Single Banshee is up in the air. He's got another one on the way. Marine Combat Shield coming up as the upgrade. And another command center. He knows he has map control. He's going to exploit it to the fullest. And why would you blame him for doing that? I certainly wouldn't. That is a great idea. But look at that. Mana taking full advantage right there of his 5 warp gates, warping in a very significant force of Stalkers. His count is looking strong. 12 Stalkers available right here. He's also got 4 Zealots. He's got a couple of sentries in there to reduce that incoming damage, but it's going to run into a wall of shells, and that's going to be unpleasant no matter what. First wave looking for us. QXC brings down the sky on that particular force, but there we go. It's a nice flanking attack there by Mana. Mana able to take out a couple of siege tanks, and those Stim Marines Marauders, though, are reaping the benefits of being ignored. Hey, look at that. A big warp in and a counter-attack button. No Zealot charge, so that's not going to do too much at all. QXC taking light damage, losing a few siege tanks right there. But once again, Mana losing an awful lot of forces. Is he even managing to equalize? No, he's not. He's actually falling further and further behind with each attack. He needs something heavier than that. He does have a robotics facility, but right now he just doesn't have the gas to pump out the Immortals. Why do I say that? Simply because he's using it all to make sure that he doesn't get killed. It's as simple as that. Bunkers coming in right there, solidifying that nice choke point that he's setting up, that beachhead. Banshee looking for a little bit of harassment. He fires them out of the rear of his vessel, which I'm not entirely sure I've seen before there. Nice little bit of micromanagement. What is micromanagement? It's fast fingers, ladies and gentlemen. It's how quickly and how effectively you can move individual units. That's what micromanagement is. And look at that, a big warp in of gateway units once again looking to... The thing is, if he tries to crack that line, he's going to take so many losses. It's throwing yourself over and over and over again at a line of machine guns. This is World War I strategy going on right here from Mao's Mana, trying to break his way through. But look at that. Let's go 9 gates. I don't need 7 gates. 7 gateways. He'll probably go 9 gateways as well, but hey, the question is he going to be able to just keep pumping out those resources? It's looking unlikely, especially with these bunker lines coming up here from QXC. There's no real way around it except this right here, which he hasn't exploited. Mana could go around the rear, but if he did that, he would leave his base wide open for attack from the Terran player, which is not something he's looking to do right now. Tense, folks. The economy is looking strong. Looking to break the siege line with a robotics bay. Colossi, it worked well for him last time. Will it work for him again? Yet more harassment from the Banshees there. Not that that really matters too much. He already almost mined out there. He's broke off a small force of Stalkers to repulse that, but he's not going to follow it up with anything. Or is he? Looking for a single drop, maybe. He's only got a single medevac up at the moment. I'd expect some more. Looking for a little bit of a drop right here. So he's going to take these up in the drop pod. What's he going to do with them? That's the question. Look at that. There's his little set of waypoints he wants to drop right down there. If he does that, will they take the Stalkers? No, but they will inflict quite a lot of damage, especially with the backup of the Banshees. That's the main thing right here. Look at this. He's going to move in right here and looking for a drop in the corner. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4 Marauders down. Stim Marauders will inflict heavy damage. Backed up by the Banshees. That's going to tip the balance. Additional forces flanking in here from Mao's Mana. 6 Zealots coming in around the side of the Marauders. A lot of damage done to the Stalkers. Definitely a worthwhile strategy. It was a good gambit. Can he take another Stalker out of it? No, he can't. But look at the amount of damage inflicted by the Banshees right there. And a lot of anti-air annihilated. And he got some valuable scouting information. He was able to discover that his opponent has Colossi. Single Colossi up right there. And QXC looking to attack before that Colossi can be brought into play. It's a large force. It's a massive force. Marauder shells going off all over the place, looking to take out that expansion. And down it goes. Down it goes. Yes, yes, yes. It was a good and daring gambit there from QXC. Once again, doing horrific damage to the economy of Mao's Mana. Look at that. That's all he has right now. Mao's Mana is being starved of resources, and QXC is doing an exceptional job of hemming in his opponent. Oh, yes. Not what you want to run into, folks. It's a charge of the Light Brigade kind of situation if you run into the gaping maws of those huge siege cannons. Would you want to do that? I'm thinking no. And if you say otherwise, you would be lying. You're a liar. Lies! Another Colossi coming up right here. Does he have the upgrade? A short answer to that is no. Yes! Yes, he does. Never mind. That will help. Certainly, he's still going to be in shelling range of the siege tanks, though. There we go, looking to charge into the guns. Horrendous losses inflicted on the first line, but more damage coming in from the rear with the Colossi. But look at that, we've got a missile turret in there, nailing the Colossi shields. Colossi shields are down, but look at the clear out. It's good, he's able to sweep through. He's able to sweep through QXC's defenses. Cloaked Banshees coming in from the side. One down, Miles Marner gives it up, and there you go. 1-all for QXC in the series. Yes, indeed. Excellent, excellent box in there by QXC. He didn't let up. He ground his opponent into a fine paste using what the Terran do best, which is, well, build lots of guns. And that's exactly what he did. Excellent stuff. It's a good series. It's heating up right here, folks. Mana versus QXC in this tournament brought to you by SteelSeries and StarCraft-Source.com. It's Europe versus America. If you just tuned in, welcome to Shoutcraft. This is a very calm, laid-back, relaxed broadcast. Don't get too shouty. We like to keep it nice and quiet because, of course, we wouldn't want to hurt your ickle ears. What am I saying? This is the loudest shouting you will get. Assume my voice doesn't die, which it might. Oh, yeah. Love me some good StarCraft, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for round 3? I certainly hope so. Kicking it off right here on the... Oh, it's the Xel'Naga Caverns, isn't it? Oh, God. It's not that I've got a problem with the Xel'Naga Caverns, it's just that I've seen the bloody thing so much. It was DreamHack's fault. Best of one on the Xel'Naga Caverns over and over and over again. You tend to get sick of it by that point. Oh, well. Deal with it, .jpg. Now, these games are not exactly quick. QXC and Mana grinding each other into a fine paste and doing a good job of it on both sides. QXC looks like he's gone for a coffee. Look at Mana's APM. He clicks like nobody clicked before. Can he get to 400? Yes, he can! Yes, many clicks. The more you click, the more you win. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, what the hell is APM? It's actions per minute. What the hell is actions per minute? And why is he clicking so much in the game? I don't understand. Well, he's doing that to keep his fingers limber, folks. You don't want to not click at the start of the game, and then when it matters, you can't click fast enough because you end up seizing up like some kind of old age pensioner. That would be terrible. QXC with the barracks. Surprise! What else do we have? Well, we have a gateway coming up for Miles Marner. No silly trickery going on early in the game. Here comes the scout. This is quite a long run, actually, across this. It's a fairly lengthy dash across this map to go and have a look and see what they can see. QXC not really bothering to wall up. There we go, early refinery as well. Early refinery, I would indicate to me, either he's going to go very quickly into factory for the same build that he went last time, which was the barracks into the factory, into the starport, or he's going to go for an early marauder push once again. We'll see whether or not that works out for him. It certainly didn't the first time he tried it, but you never know, he might get the build better. We'll find out very, very soon as to what he intends to do with that. Sorting out the orbital command center. That's generally about the time you want to do it, folks, on about 16 supply. And, yeah, oh god, yeah, there's something I forgot, wasn't there? Just gonna pause this for a second, because I know you guys actually want me to put on... Where is it? Where's the frickin' timer? Ha! Yes! There you go, folks. Given. Never say I don't give you anything. You have a timer, and I'm not afraid to use it. So, the reason I'm putting that on there is because some of the more advanced players like to look at build timings. And actually, if you're looking to learn, this is a great opportunity to do so. Analyze what these guys do when they build their specific things. Like you notice, QXC built his orbital command center on 16 supply. That's very, very standard. And that's the usual sort of time that you want to build it on. QXC now going for a factory. That's his play for the time being. We're going to look for a similar strategy to last time. Hey, it worked. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But will Mana be able to counteract it this time? That's a good question, and we'll see what happens. Zealot says, "Come back here, you bastard! Get off my lawn!" And the SCV refuses to comply because he's a rebel. He's very, very edgy, folks. He reads WikiLeaks and wears a beret. Can you imagine that? Not really. I mean, you'd be surprised. This is only his day outfit. You know, he's actually a very sophisticated individual. You say, oh, it's just a hillbilly with a beer hat and a cigarette inside an enclosed spacesuit, which is a terrible idea, by the way. Don't do that. That's really dumb. Oh, God. That's a good job there's no one else in there. You'd be dying of passive smoking before you know it. Tar in the lungs, folks. Very unhealthy habit. It's disgusting. It's filthy. What you might not know about the SCVs is the fact that they are actually very stylish individuals. After they get off work, they like to go to a coffee shop and they like to discuss politics and philosophy. surprising, but never judge somebody by the first impression. Okay. Yes, straight into the starport. Identical build to last time, although not looking for a box-in as of yet. Looking for some early Banshee aggression. Miles Marner straight into the robotics facility. Wow, the robotics facility. That's a new unit, it's a new building you can build in the expansion, the robotics facility, which allows you to build these Protoss Psy-Bats. Yes, indeed, these Psy-Bats. They are bats that instead of using echolocation, they use psychic abilities. And, of course, they like to steal berries. They're big into that. They go and eat them. It's kind of like fruit bats, but they don't call themselves fruit bats because they felt that it was an unwise branding decision. I don't really blame them, honestly. You try to be a PR manager for a fruit bat, especially among, say, a bunch of fruit farmers. It's not a very good thing to do, is it? It's unpleasant. It's not the kind of thing that you want to be doing as your day job. It's very difficult to convince them that these bats are nothing but a pest and just want to steal fruit. That's all they want to do. So if you just change your name to Psybat, suddenly you are no longer guilty of fruit larceny. It's wonderful. Rebranding is absolutely fantastic, folks. And it's used in politics and all sorts of great things in this particular real life, which is not as exciting as StarCraft, I'm afraid. Identical build coming up right here, which is why I'm not commenting on it. You've got the cloaking field coming up with the Banshee. However, we've already got one observer. Yes, we do. One observer coming out and a second one coming in. Oh, SCV! You hardly had a chance to shine. An aggressive force looking to scout around, and that's probably the best thing you can do. Just keep moving, try and to the base. You don't want them scouting that Nexus. Did he manage to scout the Nexus? No, he did not. So that's going to be advantageous to Mana, although he's going to find it pretty damn soon if he sends over that Banshee. He's got one up in the air already, and we're looking to see what he's going to do with it. There you go, flanking around the side, and there's the spot. Is he going to harass it? No, if he's got any bloody sense, he won't. But what he will do is open fire on the sentries. No observer there just yet, but it will be there very, very quickly. Miles Marner moving across his observer. There we go. There's the catch. He's going to be able to grab it with the Stalkers. No, he's not. QXC knows the speed available right there. In the meantime, his opponent having a little bit of a look around with that observer. Now, what do we have? Well, Tech Lab once again. It's pretty much an identical build to last time. He's going to back it up with some barracks, and he's going to build that Tech Lab, and he's going to get some siege tanks out. Looking to once again bring down some heavy firepower on the expansion of Mana. Thing is, Mana didn't build that quite as quick as last time, and he's got a more significant force, so hopefully he'll be able to break any kind of blockade that comes in. QXC looking for a flanking attack once again with the Banshee. He's got two Banshees up in the air and another to follow. More Banshees is required, but look at that. Mana with a very, very, I would say presumptuous, but more like a great prediction there as in terms of where that's moving. But did he spot it? Did he spot it? He's moved it right into the minimal light. See, you can see them. You can only just see the movement, but if you see that tiny little shimmer, then you'll know exactly what's coming. He also doesn't scout the Colossus. Yes, that's going to be unfortunate for him, and it could result in Mana able to beat back that build this time around. Mana's got a good force going up right here. He's able to repulse the Banshee significantly better than last time, so QXC a little bit on the back foot there. QXC bringing out a Raven. That'll be interesting, because the Raven can detect those observers, and then can attempt to shoot them down. Considering there are observers all over the bloody place right now, that's not a bad idea. QXC with his expansion as well. Economy-wise, Mana's actually ahead right now because he's got a fully functional expansion rolling right here. He's got 4 gas, which means that he's going to be able to pump out those Colossi at a good pace. There we go. I expect extended thermal lance after very, very soon, actually. Does he have the gas for it? No, but he will in a couple of seconds after he's got those units. And also jumping in a couple more gateways, 4 gateways, and Colossus available. It's a good, nice set of variety available there. And QXC massing his forces right here. Marines and siege tanks available for the push. However, he's playing much more defensively this time, and that could be his undoing. Mana can get very, very brutal when it comes to his aggression.